All right. So we're here today with two of our colleagues who are about to step into a real play around designing their alliance and focusing on the human to human or person to person component. And so in this demonstration, Kaitlin and Chrissy will be having this conversation, and Rachel and myself will be there as support and guides to help them keep the conversation human to human. Because what tends to happen in organizations is we slip into role to role. And there might be a little bit of that, but we're going to keep the focus of the conversation person to person. Chrissy, Kaitlin, anything you need from us to create safety for you to step into this conversation?
Nothing from me.
All right. And we'll let you know too when it's time to bring it to completion, knowing that you can carry on after this demo. Go for it.
All right. Hey, Kaitlin. Well, so what I would like to acknowledge is working well in our relationship right now is I feel like we communicate really well, like really clearly with one another. And if we don't understand something, we really quickly ask for clarification. So I think that's really working.
Thing I'd love to add to a quality that I see in you that I really appreciate is your willingness and ability to mentor, to support. You really show up for the people around you in both the doing and the being. And you provide a very safe, comforting place for anybody to come to ask those questions and to have that clear communication. So I see that in you, and I really value that in our relationship also. And I think it, contributes to being able to work together so well.
And you're very graceful as well. So I see that graciousness in you.
Thank you.
Which of your values do you want me to know about that really kind of stands out?
Yeah, sure. And lucky enough, we've had the opportunity to work on values together in some of the work that we've done outside of our work here and inside of our work here. And so personally, a lot of my values, but the ones I would love to bring today are reciprocity. And so what I am giving, I'm also receiving. And of course, that's not transactional. It doesn't always look or feel equal. But there is this give and take in a relationship. There's a listening and a speaking and a balance to everything we do. And that's really important to me in all aspects of my life, in relationships and otherwise. Clear communication, we've talked about that before, and that's something that I really value, and timely communication, something that doesn't just sit and fester and grow over time, but things that are brought to the surface in the moment when those ouches inevitably happen in relationship, that we're able to shed a light on them and in the moment be able to communicate through it and not just with words, but to really feel and connect with the person, especially in virtual work. I think it's really important that sometimes you just need some eyes and some connection with the person to say like, hey, are we here? Are we in this together? Does this matter to both of us that we move through? So that's really important to me. And I'll give one more value. Hard work and success is important to me too. And that success has sometimes a negative connotation, especially in work, or it feels very like success over everything. And to me, that value means being successfs in relationships. So having right relationships with people and nurturing relationships, that feels like success. It feels like teams rising together. It means acknowledging that everybody has a role in the final outcomes of things, and acknowledging the roles in that, and that feeling of accomplishment and pride and success in oneself and the ecosystem, the organism as a whole is really, really important to me. And I feel like a lot of times we move through success too quickly. We achieve the peak and we're on to the next. And just taking a moment to really sit in that success, whatever that means, little, big, medium, to whomever, that's important to me, to just take a moment, again, especially in a virtual context, to be able to say like, hey, Chrissy, we've been working on this thing for a really long time. We did really well, and seeing each other in that moment. Or on the flip side, hey, we've really been struggling through this and we might have to let this project go, or it didn't go exactly as planned. And I'm celebrating that we're here anyways. And so, yeah, those are important to me. So I would love to hear some of the values that you'd like to bring into our relationship too.
I love that. And thank you for sharing those, because that makes it easier to make sure I'm helping you hold those. For me, my number one value is integrity. And I know that gets used against me sometimes, because I'll overgive and then I'm out of integrity with myself. But with regard to integrity, I really operate really well if someone assumes I'm coming from a place of integrity. So if I mess up on something, just to realize, oh, she wasn't doing that because she was not trying to do a good job. Like, that was just an oops. And then, see, another value of mine is honesty, which falls really closely with the integrity side of things. But, if you don't know something, I don't know. And, and being okay if I don't know something, just know I'm going to go figure it out. I think the same, like what you said with the reciprocity, the balance is really important to me too, that it doesn't ever feel like, because like I said, I sometimes will over deliver. And if it's not being appreciated, then sometimes I feel like, oh, well, why did I do that? So I don't see that ever happening with you, but those are just some of my values.
Yeah, thank you. And I feel like there's one element that's kind of woven through all of your values, and this feeling of protection in a very sacred way, and this feeling of holding yourself really dearly, and perhaps things in your past have gotten you to that point. And that's a fourth value that I will say I'm seeing in you that might not be verbal or put an exact word to it, but it's something that I'm noticing and cherish and know about you, and certainly want to hold that as something that's important to you. That this relationship matters, and that you matter, and that I'm not contributing to any of those feelings of needing to protect your integrity or protect yourself. I want this to be a really open and safe and encouraging place for us both. So if any of that feeling is ever ignited for you in our relationship together, I really would want to know about it, because that would certainly not be my intention also.
You're doing great. You're starting to move into the next part of the conversation. And just for folks that are watching and listening, Chrissy and Kaitlin have done a great job in establishing almost like operating principles within themselves to give insight to the other person. And what I hear you doing, Kaitlin, is really helping to make it real and how you're going to interact with the values. So let's now go to what would take the relationship to the next level, knowing that you haven't worked together for a long time, but there could be a few things. And we want to invite you to be really honest with each other, and also be mindful of time. So use your skill of bottom lining here too, in service of the whole room that we're part of right now. Thank you.
Well, I was going to ask Kaitlin, if I do start to feel like a value is getting trampled on, or my saboteur starts popping up or something like that, how do you like to have feedback or receive that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the most important thing to me, when something is shared that's really personal like that, something that requires more than just a, hey, FYI, heads up. I love to be able to have the space to work through it together in that moment. I have had experiences where something is kind of just dropped without any any, so like, oh, I'm going off to an exercise class. I'm just going to leave this note here. And then I'm trying to engage with the person to really create some resolution. And there's nothing there to work with. And so really when feedback like that is given, where I really want to show up fully and I want you also to be there to work through something, I would love to be able to create a space and time specifically designated for that. And so just a heads up that would be important to create some time. And then I will, of course, prioritize that time. Really matters. And if that's just committing to 10-minute block of voice notes, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be this huge thing or a Zoom call or something, but just something that is dedicated time together where we are both focused on the same goal. Would be amazing.
Awesome.
That would be important to me.
So Kaitlin's making a request, and Chrissy, what is your response to that request that she's making?
Absolutely. So for me, if you would just not let it hang. Like if there's something you want to talk to me about, don't say, hey, I really want to talk next week, because I'm going to spiral the whole week.
Oh, totally. We can agree on that. I do that also. Yes. And then stories are leading the way and not the actual truth. So yes, I agree.
So what are you both agreeing to then in this?
So we will notify the person, hey, let's chat as like right now or in a few minutes or rather quickly, so we both don't spiral.
What else would take it to the next level? What are some other things that would make this relationship even more great?
Yeah, I would say one of my requests of you and the relationship is time together. And that could look like a variety of different things and could look like a regular email thread. It could look like a WhatsApp chat. It could look like a Zoom chat. And perhaps we want to design what that looks like regularly. But I think that's really important to me to continue to deepen things, and not just when things come up, but we already have a cadence and a flow of our relationship going that we know that we always have. I would say probably short Zoom touch-ins, like we've just started last week, 30 minutes every other week or something like that, where we know that we have the time and space to at least update each other, get a check-in, know what's going on personally and professionally, and to see how we can show up for each other in that space. That would be really wonderful.
Kind of like our own water cooler time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so make it real. So it's not just a nice conversation. What will you actually both do to honor this request?
So we've already scheduled regular times. So I guess had we not already scheduled, we would go ahead and schedule regular time.
Okay, great.
Yeah, exactly. So knowing that is important and was important, it just feels more solidified that now that we've got a couple on the calendar, that is a recurring, repeating thing. And I am happy to take the responsibility of just making sure that is scheduled, and kind of the logistical part. Yeah, I'm happy to do the Zoom meetings and make sure that we have the right times and all of that thing. So I'm happy to hold that kind of engine of the practicality.
Awesome. Thank you.
And you've already addressed, like, when things get bumpy or cringy, that what you're going to do is not let it linger. You're going to, what I heard you both say is you're going to address it, and you're going to get time more immediately than let it linger. So that's great. That's such an important way to build a magnetic relationship, that commitment to one another. Are there any other commitments that either of you want to make to this relationship in service of the shared responsibility of bringing UpLevel's marketing and operations together? Because that's really what the two of you are going to be stewarding.
I don't need an echo chamber. So if you're like, well, actually, I don't think that's going to work, then tell me, because I'm okay, like, learning.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. Knowing that both of us are coming with unique skill sets outside of UpLevel, bringing them to UpLevel, and then bringing them to our relationship also. being able to not only, not be echo chambers, but to also be sounding boards, to work through things, to not have the exact answer, but to use each other as a resource to get to an answer that works for both of us and both parts of the business, and therefore the business as a whole. Play time to really kind of dig in the sand. And when you were saying, like, sometimes I don't know the answers, and honesty is important to me, and I will say I don't know when I don't know, I commit to doing the same. And also, let's find the answer together. Not feel like we have to go off and do it on our own to come back as experts, but let's play and experience the learning together. I think that too will enhance our relationship and the work that we're doing.
So there can be more to go with this, and we definitely encourage you to keep these types of conversations as part of your cadence of meeting. How's it going? How are we doing on these agreements we made with each other? Hold each other to them. Let Rachel and I know how we can support you in this. If you both just take a moment and check in with yourselves from where we were 15 minutes ago to where we are now, in relation to your relationship. What's shifted? What feels different, if anything? Just give us a few words on that.
It was just confirmation that we work well together.
Yeah, there's an excitement. There's an excitement for the possibility of what's possible. I feel a leaning in also. I feel like throughout the time I've gotten quite close to you.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Beautiful work. So now that this conversation has happened, Chrissy and Kaitlin have more relationship to lean into. They have more knowing of each other to lean into and work through those times or be of support to each other.
Yeah. I was going to say, UpLevel's up to big things when it comes to marketing and ops this year. We've got some big goals. And this has been a proactive conversation rather than a reactive conversation that would happen later when things get really rushed or hard or difficult. We've had the conversation already. You've had the conversation already, and can continue to build off that.